189 people killed in 11 minutes. 7 bombs going off on Mumbai suburban trains, and the whole country shaken. 19 years later, every single man convicted for those blasts has been acquitted. Yes, you heard that right. The trial court finding them guilty in 2015, but by the time you come to 2025, all of them now acquitted by the High Court. So what has gone wrong? Why is it that prosecutions in India, particularly in high-profile cases, always end up falling short when it comes to explaining their case, proving their case before the judiciary? First up, the foundation of any prosecution is what? It's evidence. In the Mumbai case, the evidence was almost laughable, honestly. Witnesses were unreliable, confessions extracted through torture, bomb type, not even specified. And by the way, this is not unique. In the 2G Spectrum case, the CBI investigated for years, but still failed to prove feasibility, reliability of documents they were presenting before the courts. So what did the courts do? The court said the foundation of the case is weak, and hence the case collapses. Secondly, India's criminal justice system moves at the speed of molasses. Cases drag on for decades. The Mumbai terror case, for instance, went on for almost 20 years. Pre-trial detentions lasting up to 180 days under UAPA. It tells us that more than the actual punishment, it's the process which ends up becoming the punishment for those who end up spending a substantial part of their lives behind bars only to be acquitted later. These stringent laws like Porta and Mukoka were supposed to help the prosecutors, but ultimately, lack of evidence, poor investigation ends up becoming the albatross around the prosecutor's neck. In the Mumbai case, for instance, the prosecution was leaning heavily on Mukoka. The court found the evidence was just not enough. Look at the Mecca Masjid blast case. 39 people arrested and all of them again acquitted. Why? Because the only thing that the prosecutors had against them, which was confessions. And it turned out that these confessions were taken forcibly by the authorities. Judges are also skeptical, and why not? Misuse of law, misuse of police ultimately ends up undermining the justice system. And then there is politics. You can call it interference, you can call it influence, but it does play a role, doesn't it? In the 2G case, the CBI just didn't show up with evidence. I remember Judge O.P. Seni actually said, I waited for a year and a half. Around the same time, the BJP then seemed to be warming up to Karunanidhi's family. Was it a coincidence? Perhaps. But perception does matter. And then, of course, there is federalism. States often oppose the center's moves to bring in National Investigating Agency. Finally, the courtroom itself. On one side, you have India's top lawyers, Prashant Bhushan, Kapil Sibal, Harish Salve, and on the other, maybe underprepared, maybe underpaid government lawyers. They lack resources, sometimes even motivation. Ram Jethmalani famously once defended Afzal Guru and Harshad Mehta. Vrinda Grover has fought for Soni Sori and S.A.R. Gilani, but the state always just doesn't manage to match up. Until that changes, we will keep seeing these acquittals, and we will keep looking at people being punished by the process. So where does this leave us? 19 years have gone by since the Mumbai train strikes happened, and we still don't have justice. Evidence weak, laws misused, trial derailed, and of course, there is a political trial court which also runs parallelly. There is the question of witness protection. There is the question of better prosecutors. That's what you need most. Court infrastructure, political insulation. Unless all these factors come together, you will continue to look at a scenario where heinous, high-profile crimes will be committed in our country. People will be picked up by the police. It will lead to some kind of a collective sigh of relief by the society at that time when those people would be picked up. But many, many years later, the person or the group of people that you and I thought were the actual guilty people will be let off by the courts. So here's my poser to you. If all the people who were convicted by the trial court are now acquitted by the High Court, then who were those who were responsible for these terror strikes? Will we ever know the answer to that question? Or will that question and answer both forever remain shrouded in politics and mystery? If you like this episode and if you'd like us to throw some more light on similar issues, then you can log on to our website, squirrels.in. You can follow us, you can subscribe to us on our YouTube handle, on our Instagram handle, or even on our Facebook page.